Raise your hand if in the last month, weather permitted, that you spent time amongst nature. Raise your hand if in the last month that you engaged in an activity that promoted relaxation. Raise your hand if you have ever said, in general, a negative self-talk comment, like I'm such an idiot. I can't do this. I'll never get it right. I'm just not good enough. I definitely have too. So let me turn back time. As a child, we would have a village that cared for us. That village may consist with parents, grandparents, maybe an auntie, uncle, maybe a caregiver, a loved one, or even that babysitter. They would support us, they would nurture us, and they would build boundaries of protection around us. And they continuously made us feel valued. You know, that saying is true. It takes a village to raise a child. We relied on them, and they became our go-to person. And during our lifetime, our go-to person will change. And I want you to remember that phrase, go-to person. As time went by, and before we knew it, we became adolescents. We started going through physical changes. We started to think independently, developing our own identity and making our own decisions, even when it wasn't right. We began to explore and form new relationships, and all of this leading to an increase of self-independence. Our go-to person's beginning to change. We start looking for another village, other social groups to feel part of, to just fit in, even when it was outside our own comfort zone. Peer pressure begins to become part of our adolescence age. Seeing that person that you admire and thinking, I wish I was just like them. Having that friend or that BFF or that go-to person for advice, for support, to share secrets with. Because at this age, we don't believe that our parents or our grandparents or our aunties or our uncles would actually understand what we are feeling. Or they're just not cool enough to hang around with. Or they're so out of touch with today's technology. What do they know? We almost have that need of wanting to be popular. And guess what? They just don't fit in. So as time passes, we become adults. We control our own life. We become fully responsible of our own actions and any decisions that we make. Any financial responsibilities, sometimes by wanting those accessories rather than the everyday necessities. Displaying the persona that, we know it all, and then being relied on by others for support, for the advice, sometimes for validation, maybe for that shoulder to just lean on, or just to cry on, or someone to go and buy you lunch. Guess who that go-to person is now? It's you. Do you know the amount of times that I have heard, I don't like being a grown-up. It's too stressful. Or from my niece when she says, being an adult is so hard. I can only respond with a smile and say, well, welcome to my world. By putting ourselves into that position of being that go-to person, we as a parent, a partner, a caregiver, holding down a full-time professional career or even full-time education can be a real juggling act. I always thought that by being there for others, doing what was expected, feeling appreciated, being needed, gave me a sense of value. Giving all my energy to invest in others, even when it had no personal connection to my life. Supporting and giving 120% day in and day out, and then realizing, hang on, where's that extra 20% coming from? Our parents, our grandparents, our aunties, our uncles, the caregiver, the loved one, or even that babysitter, they were our go-to person in our childhood years. And they made it look easy. If I wanted something from my mum and she said no, I'll go straight to my dad. And then he'll ask me, well, what did your mother say? Or did you even ask her? Yes, shoulders slumped, sulking. Go straight for the grandparents instead. Right? But little did we know that underlying all that support, the nurture, the boundaries of protection, and the value came challenges. How naive was I? Appearing to be resilient, adaptable, well-balanced, well-groomed with a smile on my face, and then realizing deep down inside, are we being true to ourselves? Are we taking care of ourselves? Are we self-care aware? You know, the consequences of investing more than 100% in any activity is the cost to you personally. You can't fill someone else's cup when your cup is empty. An empty cup can be exhausting mentally, emotionally, and physically, and can lead to burnout. No longer having the support for others may feel like a failure. No longer being good enough. No longer wanted. No longer being the go-to person. Negative self-talk can start to invade our thinking. Our health and well-being can begin to be affected, and often believing that we are not worth our own time and energy. And what can we do about that? First, breathe. Take a breath. Give yourself permission to prioritize self-care. And it can be as simple as having a nutritious meal, shutting out the world for some good quality sleep, walking away and taking a break from your devices, or just learning to say no to the things that drain your energy. Believe in your own worth. That's a great starting point. So remember at the beginning I mentioned that it took a village to raise a child. That responsibility was shared. Self-care is far, from being selfish. Instead, it is accepting that you deserve to make a choice to have a healthy and balanced relationship with yourself. I asked you 3 questions at the beginning of my talk, and now I'm going to ask you another 3 questions. Raise your hand if in the next month you will spend a bit of time amongst nature. Raise your hand if in the next month that you will engage in a relaxation activity. Raise your hand if you can accept that you are good enough. If you raised your hand to any of these questions, they can be set as little action plan steps. That action plan can be small, doable steps that is specific to you, that is attainable, that can be set around a time or date that suits you. And it's having the confidence in yourself, knowing that it is achievable. And that can be a great start to your self-care journey. These small changes in mindset become ripples, shaping who we are today, who we become tomorrow, and what we can pass on to our next generation. Thank you.